So, hello and welcome to another episode of Lids Off. I am your host, Bo Snow, and I'm joined today with an international superstar. Would you like to introduce yourself, Queen?
Yeah, I'm Ruby Watson. I'm 19. I play offensive line, and I play for the Lancaster Bombers, which is my university team, the Manchester Titans, the Great Britain Women's team, and newly the San Diego Rebellion.
And your pronouns are?
She, her.
Fantastic. So, as with every other episode, we start right at the beginning, and for you, I can imagine this was quite young, so how did football find you, Ruby?
So I was around 13 years old. I'm pretty sure 13. And in my area, there's like your local like kids clubs called youth zones. So I used to go to this youth club all the time, like every day. So I was at this youth club, and one day in the sports hall, they're doing like flag football. And I didn't know what football was. I was really into basketball. So I was like, oh, what is this? So I started doing the flag football sessions. I didn't even find it fun. I was just bored, to be honest. And then I was doing it, and I got along with the coach who coached at Manchester Titans. This is how I got into playing for them. So I go to all the sessions all the time, and he's like, oh, you should come play, because he was coaching under 16s at that time. So he was like, oh, you should come and play for us. And I was like, oh, I don't know. So I turned up at just a random session, and I didn't realise I was going to be the only female there. But I thought, okay, I'll just do it. So I turn up, I have my helmet and my shoulder pads on that I've been given. I've never seen these in my whole life. So I was like, I put them on, I was like, this feels so strange. And then I'm just stood at the side in the corner like this. And he's like, go and do something. So I'm like warming up and I'm doing football, which I didn't even know what football was. And pretty much since that day, I've never stopped playing. And that was nearly 6 years ago.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So were you much of a sporty person? Were you much of a team sports person if you were?
Yeah, I've always been a very, very sporty person. Always. I've always done some sort of sport. Like I used to do boxing before basketball. Then I started playing basketball at the youth zone. These are all because of the youth zone, to be honest, where I play in all these. But even in like primary school, I was doing like netball, football. I've always been very, very sporty and team sports. I've always played in team sports.
So do you feel like that kind of gave you the confidence to just try something new and...
Yeah, definitely. I was very nervous, but it was like, why not just try it? And then I never left. So I must have liked something about it when I went.
Nice. So kind of how did O-line find you?
Oh, that's really interesting. So under 16s is five-a-side. And
Is it? Okay.
it's basically, I always call it flag with shoulder pads on because it's five-a-side. And the centre can run routes. So when I used to snap, I used to be running routes. But that's another story. Yeah, there's the centre can run routes. So I started playing linebacker for some reason. And then I started playing D-line because I love defence. But I don't really play it anymore. But I love defence and everything about it. And then I was on the D-line. But because of the way we were running the defence, because there's only 5 people, sometimes we didn't have a down lineman. So I didn't really get a lot of reps. So the coaches were like, hey, why don't you play O-line? Because there's only one offensive lineman. They snap, they run a route, or they block. So I was like, cool. Even though my snapping was really bad, I was like, cool, I'll do it. Because I used to love blocking. Blocking was always so fun. And then I'd run routes, and sometimes I caught the ball. So very rarely I caught the ball because I can't catch. As an O-lineman. So I was blocking, and it was fun. And then since that day, I've always played O-line with a sprinkle of D-line in there sometimes. But mainly O-line.
Nice. Okay, so in terms of your youth football, kind of how does that work? What are the age brackets and stuff?
So you have under 16s, which is from 13 to 16. Then you have under 19s, which is from the 16s to the 19. So I played fully both of these leagues for Manchester Titans. So from being 13 to now, I've only just aged out of it. So I've not played the season that's just started now. I played last season, league. And that's like a mixed gendered year.
Okay. Yeah, so when you go up to, is it still 5s or does when you go
no,
up?
So U19s is a bit like women's. It has a 7s and a 9s league. But there's more teams in the 9s than there is the 7s. Like for Titans, we've only ever played in the 9s. So I've only ever played in the 9s.
Was that much of a change for you? Because the rules are drastically different.
Yeah, it was so different because I was used to being the only lineman. And then I had 2 people next to me because the only difference with 9s is that you don't have 2 tackles. So it's just a centre and 2 guards, which are essential for tackles. So I was the centre. and it was weird having two people next to me, and then it was weird having all these people to block, and then the pitch was a lot bigger, so I had to run more. And the whole thing was very, very, very different. And like the people you were coming against were a lot bigger, a lot older, because we were like 16, and some of these boys in the league were like 18, 19.
Whoa.
So it was definitely a difference than playing against like 14-year-old boys. They're playing against 18-year-old boys. Definitely a big difference.
Jesus. How do you like mentally prepare for that?
When I'm playing, I never think about, oh, I'm the only woman on the pitch, or, oh, these are bigger than me, or anything. I just think, what can I do? It doesn't matter what they're going to do. It matters what I'm going to do. Like, it matters how I block them, not how they think they're going to get past me. So I just get into my playbook. I love to watch. This is what I did for the game the other day. I watch Eagles highlights because I'm a big Eagles fan. So I'll just watch, because Eagles O-line are amazing. So I just watch big Eagles O-line highlights. But yeah, pretty much I just try and forget about what they are, what athlete they are, and just think about what athlete I am. And I know what I can do. So it doesn't matter what they're going to do. Do you know what I mean?
That's impressive because, like, for me, like, I've just made the shift to mixed contact, and these O-linemen are big boys. Mm-hmm. And I always thought, you know, for women's, I do play offense, and it's kind of, I can't imagine being steamrolled by a large defensive lineman or a massive linebacker that's blitzing. Like, how do you cope with that?
For me, because I play at university as well, these men can be whatever age, it doesn't matter. So I was 18 playing in this league, and there was like 40-year-old men coming down on the D-line, which is fine because this is the league that I was in. So I just kind of try to forget that they're older than me, they're bigger than me, the men. To be honest, it doesn't bother me at all, because I've played mixed contact for so long. Like it isn't even a thought in my mind anymore that, oh, I'm playing against men, oh, these big men. I don't even think about it, because at the end of the day, if the coaches didn't think I could do it, they wouldn't put me on the field. And throughout my years playing mixed contact, I've always started as centre. So they didn't trust me, they wouldn't start me. So that's always like been in my heart and thought, yeah, I can do it. So it doesn't matter if they're a big 6'5" woman or male or anything. It doesn't bother me. I'm just thinking, what can I do?
That's amazing. That's an amazing mentality to have.
Thank you.
So, for example, you are in a game where you are coming across a very physical D-line. I mean, this even happens at GB and stuff. How do you kind of lock in where the odds are against you? Like, what do you mentally do during that game to kind of help?
I think about so if they're very, very aggressive and very physical, I think about what can I do to beat them? I can bring up my aggression. I can bring up my physicality. And I can use that against them. For example, if we're going to be running the screen or something like that, I'm in my pass set, and then I'm going. That's weird. Where's all this fireworks come from?
That's so much.
Is it like I move my hands?
I love screens.
That was really, really weird.
That special effects was beautifully timed.
The examples, if there's a screen and they're so aggressive, I can use that against them. I'm in my pass set, and then I let them go and I go get the linebacker. Because they're so aggressive, they're going to bite on it, and the ball's going to be thrown straight over them. That's examples of how their aggression can be used against them.
That's amazing. Where have you learned to kind of tune into that aggression?
I've always done, I did boxing for a while. Contact sport, and I play rugby now. But like contact sport has always been very I've always found it very exciting. So when I got to hit someone, I was like, oh, this is great. Even in the sport, I've never not been aggressive, in my opinion. Like I've always wanted to hit someone. I've never been scared of contact, really, ever. So I'm like, if I could tune into the aggression example, if I've had a really bad day, I can use that in football. Not let it affect me, or I've had a bad day, I'm going to be like, oh, why I'm playing. As in, I'm mad about something. I can take it out on these people, and there's nothing wrong with that because it's a contact game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that helps my team win. I'm aggressive on the line. I can make holes for the running backs. I can protect the quarterback. Overall, I've trialed my aggression, and the team has got better for it. Do you know what I mean?
That's amazing. I love how, it's not just mentally mature, but you are very mentally disciplined for someone of your age, especially doing, a really intensive sport. It's really impressive. So, how did your GB journey start?
Oh, that's an interesting one. So it was around I'd have just started my first under-19 season, and this was at the end of 2022 out of 23. So I trialed for GB in like November of like 2022, just after the World Championships. And I feel like I saw you there. I feel like I remember this. I feel like I went against you a
Oh
few
yeah.
times.
Oh yeah.
So, and
Yeah, you kicked my ass.
I like, my, this is where I'd only properly started playing proper football, not five-a-side. So, and then going to GB and it was 11s really messed up my mind. But I started watching the NFL and stuff then, so it wasn't that confusing. So I went to the trials and I did not think I was gonna get in at all. My blocking was going great, but my snaps were not being good. So I was like,
Okay.
maybe I'm not gonna get in. But then I did get in, and I was like, I was really surprised because I was only 17 then as well. So I'd just been allowed to trial because of my age. So I was like, oh, I actually got
Yeah.
in. Then I went to the camps week by week by week, and I could see that I was improving so much. Like I got taught how to properly snap, and then my snaps were good. And I just learned all these new techniques that I'd never learned before, and I'd never even heard of. Like I truly believe, though that GB year of 2023 has made me the offensive lineman I am now. Like, if I didn't do that, I do not think I'd be playing at this level right now. So I learned a lot of stuff from the
Really?
coaches there. Yeah, I genuinely believe it because there was like a switch.
A
Because
switch.
at my team, yeah, because at my team there wasn't really a lot of offensive lineman training. We just kind of went block here, block there. It wasn't really going in the depths of it. Whereas when I went to GB, we got to do specific offensive lineman drills. We were we were learning our blocking techniques, learning like footwork techniques, everything. So when I went home, I practiced all of these in my own time. So it got better and better and better and better. Like I just kept improving. I never went worse. I stayed the same because I wanted to be better. So I was always practicing, always. Like my boyfriend who plays football too. This was like a few months ago. I literally made him sit behind. I said, I'm gonna snap to you like 100 times. And he was like, cool. And up until the Finland game, which was last year, I literally did that every single day. I snapped to him 100 times every single day, just so my snaps were good. But my example is like I'd learned all these
Wow.
techniques through being at Great Britain. And yeah, so then a few months went by through practices, and then they make the game squad selection, right? So if you make the training squad, then they do another selection for the game squad. And I was like, I wasn't sure whether I was going to make it, but I was like, I might as well just try. So then I made it, and I was like, whoa, I was so surprised. I did not expect it at all because I was the only rookie on the offensive line who made the squad that year. So it was very
What did
surprising
that
to
mean
me
to
that
you?
I got selected so much because the whole time it's like, I believed I was pretty decent at football, but it was like kind of a validation to be like, yeah, I can do this. I can play at a high level. So like that year I played against, this was in the European Championships, so we played against Sweden, and then we played against Germany in Germany, and then 2024 we played against Spain and Finland. So I played in all of those games.
What was that like for you? Because when you first joined it, did you ever think you would be
Mhm.
playing at a national level for your country? Like, psychologically, what was
No,
that like for you?
never. It was so strange because I remember when I first started playing, I searched up like the Great Britain team and I was watching videos of them playing in like the last Euro, I think the last European Championships, that was in 2019. So I was watching it and I was like, oh, I can actually do this. And then to actually be selected for the first time was crazy because I got selected and I was like, I started sweating. I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't realize I was gonna get picked. And I was only 17 and I was like, oh, this is crazy. I'd never played in 11s a game before either. So I was like, this is absolutely crazy. And then actually getting to the game and walking out of the tunnel, I was like literally so scared. Like I've never, even now, I've never been scared. I've never been more scared for a football game than that. But it was fine once I played, but it was just like I could hear the whole crowd. I was in the tunnel, you can see everything. It was a really weird like POV that I've never been in before. So I was really scared. But mentally, it was kind of after I watched the game for a bit, because I didn't start. So after I watched the game for a bit, it was fine. Like once I got on, I always think to myself, it's just football. I've played football for so long. This is no different. It's just football. Like whenever anyone gets stressed out, I always say to them, it's just football. It's just football. I always say that actually. It's just football.
That's mad though that you can still say it's just football when you're like on the biggest stage for football, for women's football
I know
anyway.
because
Like that's
I have to keep saying
crazy.
it to remind myself not to get like, oh, I'll be sitting here, right? I've been in San Diego, I've been sitting here. Even at Great Britain, I'm like, I'm actually playing in the international game, whatever. And I'm like, let me not think about it. It's just football. Because I'll think about it, I'll overthink it. So I always just said, it's just football. It's just football.
So talking about your international journey, how did that come about?
So it was, so with Great Britain, I was kind of playing there for a while, but I wasn't performing how I wanted to. Or I wasn't getting the game time I wanted to, should I say. And I thought, cool, what can I do which is going to make myself better? So I was searching up the women's leagues because I was already playing in university at this time too. So I was like, what can I do to make myself better? So I started looking at the WNFC, which is Women's National Football Conference. That really tested my knowledge then. So I started searching up all these teams, and I was like, these are teams that are really cool. So I sent all my film from university, from the Manchester Titans, everything. So every single team in the league, even WFA teams, which is a different women's league. And I thought, even if one of them responds to me, that's a positive. I never expected to actually be sitting playing. This was around the end of 2023, start of 2024 is when I did this, way over a year ago. So I was like, I'll just do it. A few teams got back to me, but San Diego was very interested. And like they could offer me all these things. So I was like, and the team was doing amazing. The team was really good. And when I looked at the videos, like the culture, the way they were on social media, it was just really fascinating to me. And it was like, cool, I'd want to be a part of that. Like it looks really good. So I was speaking to the owners of the team for quite a while, and I was thinking of coming the 24 season, but the pre-season for them had already started. So I was like, I don't have enough time to sort all these things out. So I said, I'll put it off for a year and then I'll come back the next season. So I had Great Britain the whole year and university. I thought, am I actually going to go? And then I was like, yeah, I really, really want to do this. Like financially, it's possible because my accommodation I don't have to pay for and only my flights. Oh, cool. I got them sponsored, so I didn't pay anything. So it was, I thought, I have to go. Like, I can't not go. If I've been offered this amazing opportunity, I have to go. So even though it was so scary, it got to around, I left in March to come here, the start of March, because I had university. So I just packed up my whole university life and came to San Diego, pretty much, because my university stuff is still going on now. So I just was like, I'm going, packed up my stuff, and went here. And pretty much that's how it, because they really liked my film. They really wanted me to come, so they offered me a contract. So I was like, yeah, I definitely want to come.
Holy shit, that's incredible. Like the confident, also like the drive. Like I want to take a minute for you to be like, what can I do better? And just reach out into the international kind of sphere because playing American football with Americans is like a different
Yeah,
universe, man.
it's so different. My first practice I've ever been to for the team, and can you swear on here or no?
Oh yeah, go for it.
I got my shit rocked. And I'm being deadly serious. I got my shit rocked by a linebacker. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've never been hit harder. I played against men, big grown men. I've never been hit harder by my linebacker on my team, ever. And I was like, whoa.
Shit.
And then after that moment, I've deeped, this is what I got myself into. And I was like, I need to step up my game, quick time. But I didn't expect that. I didn't. We're just doing a blocking drill, and she rocked my shit so bad.
Fucking
Yeah,
hell,
but
wow.
it was a building. How do I say it? It was character building because I realized I need to step up my game, and then now I'm fine. I'm fine. Once because I didn't know what to expect because I'd never played in this league ever, and it's a whole different ball game. It's so different. Like women's football in the UK is nothing like it is here. In my opinion, in this league I'm playing in now, it's completely different.
What are like the biggest Yeah, so
It's
what's the biggest kind of changes for you? Because I know we spoke about before we started recording about kind of
mhm,
the way that they train and stuff like that. What have been the biggest changes that you've
mhm.
noticed?
I'd say it's just football, 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 football all the time here, which I love because I love football. But that's different. With any time I played in the UK, it's kind of like you go practice, you do your playbooks and whatever, and it's kind of like you just play. It's you go practice, you do Zoom calls several times a week, watching film, going through scout, seeing what we can do better as a team. And like the practices are intense. Like they're good. Like you're always learning. It's very organized. Always something is always set up. You rarely just stood there doing nothing ever. Never ever. We're always. It's very very organized, and I love organization. Always having something to do. And there's a lot of coaches. That's what I found different. There's a lot of coaches for my team, and the whole culture I think is different. The respect for the coaches. I have always respected my coaches, but the whole team, the respect for the coaches is very very high, and you give them the utmost respect. Do you know what I mean? It's like the whole. It's hard to explain without you seeing it, but it's very like. Example, our coach shouts focus and we say coach. He goes focus and we say coach. It's like, and then you listen, everyone stops speaking. Stuff like that. It's like just very like on point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Would you say that the kind of women's coaching where you're at now is more kind of militant's the wrong word, but like disciplined and very hard?
Yeah, we're definitely a disciplined team, 100%. The coaches are tough on you, but in a good way. Like they're tough on you because they want you to be better, and it's always like they're trying to improve you. And it's never like, oh, the coach is having a go at you. No, they're making you better. They're trying to improve you. Even if you did everything perfect on a play, there's going to be something you can do better. They'll say, that was great, but here, you could improve that. Do you know what I mean? And there's always something that you can improve on. And there's always, because the coach's knowledge is so vast, there's always something else we can improve on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So talk us through your first game day.
Okay. I was nervous, but it wasn't that bad. I wasn't that nervous. So first, we wake up and we do a walk-up video. So at home games, everyone gets dressed up really nicely, and
That's sick.
it's really cool. You might have seen them on my Instagram, but we all get dressed up really nicely, and you get there. The game kicks off at 6. You get there around 3 p.m. So we walk up this like kind of into the locker room, and everyone's getting these videos done, and everyone's looking great. Then we go into the locker room. Because I'm not a specialist, unfortunately, I'm in the locker room for a long time, until 5 p.m. So I'm getting dressed, the vibes are really great, there's music playing, everything is very good. But I was very nervous at the same time. So we were getting dressed, and drip is very important to me. So I was having all my drip on, I was looking great. And then I waited for the call to come out the tunnel. So all the specialists have gone out, by the way, already. And then, so we get in 2 lines with our helmets on, full kit, in our game day kit. And someone at the front is holding an axe, one of the coaches, because that's like the sign of the team. So they're holding like a big axe. And then we all do this like chant. And I was like, I don't know what this chant is, because we just came here. So I was just trying to listen, and I was copying them. And we walk onto the field. Then this is one thing that is very different. The fields, the pitches, no more bad grass, no more just mud, just a mud field.
No.
It's an actual football turf. That's the biggest difference. The pitches are nice. But Bellevue is very nice. I've always played at Bellevue, so Bellevue's very nice. But I have played at some questionable fields at university, some questionable fields. So, like, could you even call it a field at that point? Do you know what I mean? Some of it was just a bog. But yeah, then we go out on game day, and we're warming up. And I started my first game here too, which I didn't expect to. So I was like, this is really exciting. So we're warming up, and we're doing all our warm-ups, and then we get on. You know how when the captains go out, so we're all like on a line watching the captains go out. And then this is one thing I didn't realise. They played the American anthem every game. So
shit, really?
Every single game they played the national anthem. Yeah, they played the national anthem every game. So we're all lined up and we all face like the same way, like this, and then they play the national anthem, which I didn't realise, because in UK they don't do that unless it's like a championship or whatever it's for Great Britain. So I was like, oh, this is new, because the Americans are really patriotic, like they get really into it. So it was quite cool though, because it was chilling, because even though I wasn't American, so you're waiting for the game to start, everything's silent. That's the same way that I feel like GB when they play the national anthem. It's like everyone is very serious and then they're in the mode. And then the game starts, we kick off. I go on my first drive. My first play, I get a pancake. After that, I felt great. I was like, cool, I'm good with this now. The first play, I just went bump, and she went flying. So after that, I was like, I have this game. And even still, that first game for Rebellion was my best game ever, I think, ever in football, to be honest, because I just thought in my mind, I need to show what I can do. It's my first game in the league, so I was like, I need to show everything that I can do. And I just left everything on the field, and that's the best game I've played by far. I think ever, to be honest. But yeah, that was the whole game day. It was very chill. It was like felt like calming. Everyone was there for each other. The vibes were amazing. And yeah, it was very, very cool. And then afterwards, we go to this like pizza place and we were playing our game up on the TV and everything. So it was really, really good.
Oh my God. So how much mental preparation did you have to go into it? Because the pressure's on,
Yeah.
you've been flown out, kind of playing in a country where this is like their national sport. It's like a new playbook. It's like, how did you lock in?
Well, I made sure I learned the playbook before I came here because I only came here 2 weeks before the first game. So I only had 3 training sessions before the first game. So I learnt the whole
Jesus.
playbook back to front before I came here. So they could say a play to me, cool, I could just do it without even being at the team. So I had to be that mentally prepared. I watched all their film from the previous games the year before, all the training film from when I hadn't been there, seeing what players are doing, how it works, so I could be prepared. And so when I got there, I made sure I didn't have playbook questions, not really anyway, because I wanted to know the playbook. And I could just get there and they could help me with my technique and stuff like that and how to actually execute the plays. Mentally, it was definitely nerve-wracking because I remember speaking to people before I came here and they were like, yeah, you're representing like Great Britain, the football there. And that made me really nervous because my heart was beating after they said that. I was like, whoa, please don't say that to me ever again. You're going to make me really nervous. But like I said before, I mentally prepared in the way that I thought it's just football. I've played 11s. I've played on the line for so long. It's just football. It's a higher level. It's a higher level of football. It's more intense, but it's just football. And I've played football for so long. It's not any different. And I can focus on what I'm gonna do. It doesn't matter what they're gonna do. If the D line want to do stunts, they want to do all these moves. It doesn't matter because I know what I can do against that and how I can block them and how I can drive them down the field for 10, 15 yards. It doesn't matter what they're going to do. It matters what I'm going to do. So mentally, I always think that it's just football. And it doesn't matter what they're going to do, ever, to me. Never, ever matters. I'm not even thinking about what they're going to do because, A, I need to think about my plays. On the line, if I'm guessing you, have you played O-line before?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm thinking about everything, the play, who I'm going to block, where I need to take them, what direction the ball's going. I don't care what that D lineman's gonna do. To be honest, that is not even my thought. Doesn't even cross my head because I have so much to think about. So I get nervous, but mentally I feel like I have so much to think about for the actual game of football, and the plays, who I'm blocking, everything. To even think about being nervous, you know what I mean? Like when I'm on the sideline, I do feel nervous before the game starts. But as soon as I step on the pitch, I'm not nervous anymore because I'm locked in. I have too much to think about to even feel nervous. And if I do, I just ignore it. It doesn't matter.
That's so cool. What would you say has been your hardest moment since being over there?
I think, to be honest, it was when I first got here, to be honest, because the first training session, I didn't know how anything, and it was a big camp, it was a mini camp. It was from 8 or 9 a.m., I can't remember, to like 5 p.m. We were out for a long time doing like gym sessions, doing on-field session. We did a big fitness test, we did a big scrimmage. So that was the most difficult because I was jet lagged. I only been here for like 2 days, meeting everyone. So I was a bit overwhelmed. So I went to this practice and it was my first practice for the team. I didn't know how everything worked. I didn't know the level it was at. I didn't know obviously how they run things. Because obviously each team runs things, even down to the warm up. I was like, what is going on? Do you know what I mean? So I think
Yeah.
that has been the hardest thing by far because I didn't know how everything worked. So I had to get used to it in a matter of seconds.
Jesus. And then also, like, what's been your proudest moment so far?
I think it was game 2, and I was on the field, and in the first drive, I hurt my ankle a lot. I rolled it, and when I first got up, it wasn't that bad, but the pain really hurt from when I rolled it. So I went off for a little bit. Had to get like taken off, and I taped up my ankle, and I went, cool, I'm going back in. I'm not playing because of my ankle, So, but even though it hurt so much, I went back in and I played good in that game. So I was proud of myself to be able to. It was a very minor injury, but I've only ever been taken off the field once ever, never in my whole time playing. So I was like, oh
Seriously?
yeah,
Shit.
I've only went down one other time, and that's because the coach told me to because I really hurt my hand and I couldn't snap anymore, so we could have time to change. But other than that, I've never ever injured myself in a game, never had to go down. That was the first time, and there's been a lot of injuries on the team. So when I fell, it really worried me because I felt something like jolt and kind of, oh, it was horrible. So it really worried me.
Mm.
So like getting over that mentally to think, oh, I'm not gonna get injured, it's fine. So I went back in and I played the majority of the rest of the game. And I played well. So I'm happy with myself because I could have easily went, I'm not playing because my ankle hurts a bit, but I wanted to keep playing for my team. So we can win, we can get points on the board, and I performed, so I'm happy about it.
That's amazing. And you absolutely decimated Seattle as well. Like, no
Yeah,
shade
it
to
was a
Seattle, but that score was monstrous, man.
yeah, that was the game that coming into it, we were like, oh, that's probably going to be the hardest game of the year because Seattle are quite a good team. They're not a bad team at all. So we were thinking, oh, this game is like the hardest one of the season. Yeah, we did really great. Our run game is very good. I think the whole offensive line, we really work as a unit. So, as in, because this team is very much about the team. Everyone works as a team. The whole emphasis is the team. Everything is for the team. What can I do to better the team? I mean, so and for offensive line, it's a very unselfish position, right? Like you're not
Yeah.
scoring, you're not getting stats, nothing. So we all worked so hard in that game to get the running yards, and in the first game to get the running yards, and all the games. 'Cause we played 4 games now. Offensive line have really come together to make lanes for the running backs because in the league we have the two highest rushing right now for the running backs. So, because for the stats, they're like the top five. At the one spot and the number 2 spot are both filled by both our running backs.
That's phenomenal. Oh my God.
Yeah, in leading rushing yards for the year so far. So yeah, we're very even the offensive line and the running backs and the QB all work very well together in unison
No,
because
you can tell.
yeah.
So what's the next goal? What's the next milestone to work towards?
I think for me, I've never started in a Great Britain game yet. So my next goal is that because here I've been having a great time. This was the next stepping stone. And this is still a stepping stone. Like I'm doing good, but I can do even better. So like, I'm always thinking, how can I be better for the team? So that is still an ongoing milestone. And for the whole team to win the championship, that is the ultimate goal, to win the championships this year with Rebellion. But my next goal, like away from America, is to do with Great Britain. Like, I've never started before, so this upcoming cycle, that is my goal to start for the team.
That's amazing. In terms of like how the league is formed for where you are at the moment, how many games have you got left? And then does it kind of work similar to the NFL in terms of division championships or?
Yeah, so we have 2 games of the season left. Right now, we're in a bye week. There's 6 games in the season, and you get 2 bye weeks. So it's 8 weeks in total. We're on the second bye week now. So our next game is next Saturday against, who is it against? Oregon at home. And then we've got one more game after that, the week after in Denver, which is away. I'm gonna have to get flights. That's one thing. Sorry, this is going off the board. Getting a flight to a
No, go
normal
for it.
game, to a regular season game, to me is crazy. Because in the UK, you just get in the car, you just drive. Getting a whole flight to go to the game I find it crazy. But obviously, America is so big, so you have to get the flight. Or it'd be something crazy like a 20-hour drive to a game. But I find that crazy because in the UK, you would never really do that.
Where's your favourite place been so far to sightsee? Because I saw
Uh,
you go out in Las Vegas. That looked
that
fucking
was the best.
sick.
That was the best so far. Vegas was because I've never been anywhere. Nowhere in the UK looks like that. Do you know what I mean? I've never been anywhere like that in
Mm.
my whole life. So that was definitely the best. We played the game, and then me and my friends who I live with here, we decided to stay an extra day. So we stayed an extra day in Vegas and we went out on the strip. We went everywhere. It was really, really cool. And I even got tattoos there. I got a ghost,
That's
and an
sick.
alien. I got the alien as well. So
Oh, nice.
that was, but even San Diego is very nice in itself. Like, there's like loads of beaches around here that is very, very nice. It's usually the weather today is not bad, but it's definitely been a lot better. Like, it's been so warm here, which is very different to the UK. But yeah, it's like it's a very nice area that I'm living in, and San Diego as a whole, California. So I've been to LA as well, and so that was very nice. But no, yeah, we have what do we have left? Then we have playoffs after that. So I'm not exactly sure how the playoffs work, but I think you play. So I think you play one game to be like the conference champion. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Right.
And then the second game is to no, sorry. Both these games you have to win to be the conference champion, I think, and then you go to the final. But I could be completely wrong about that because I actually don't know. But I know you have playoffs. If you win the first game, you play the second game. And if you win the second game, I'm pretty sure you're in the championship then, I think.
So,
And that's pretty
so
much how it
who's
works.
the reigning champion of everything?
Mississippi Panthers is the reigning champion currently. So I'm pretty
I
sure it
like
was
that you said currently.
currently everything could change. So we
I like that.
I'm pretty sure it was Texas for a long time. Then I think last year Mississippi beat them, and that was the first game Texas ever lost in the whole like history of the league. I'm pretty sure. But again, I could be wrong, so I'm gonna say that I could be wrong. But then this year, starting in Texas's first game of the year, they lost against Kansas City. That flipped things on the head, and we're like, oh. And then Mississippi played against Texas last week, and Texas beat Mississippi. So it's like I find football from one week to the other can be so crazy. Everything can drastically change in the standings, in the league. Everything can very much change. So it's like I find it really interesting to look at the other teams and see how they're doing. We could end up playing a team in another conference, obviously in the playoffs. So yeah, that's pretty much how the league is going right now.
Cool. Like going back to something that you touched on actually, when you're actually in the throes of the game,
Hmm.
what's it like? Because I don't want this to come across like stereotypical, but like the movies that you see and the Americans that I've played with here, they are very vocal and very chatty and they don't mind shit talking and it's very like in your face, very loud and communicative. Whereas if you take it like a sevens game, it's quite quiet and nobody really speaks and it's quite polite. Like, is that
Um,
like
I've definitely played in women's UK games that I've had a lot of shit talk to me. But
really? Wow.
yeah, oh my gosh, yeah. I've had, and even in university on the line, I've had so much shit talk to me. So yeah, I've had a lot. But here, I've not really had anyone say anything to me, to be honest. Not to me. I've not,
Not
and
to
I,
you.
not to me, to be honest. But I never shit talk. We've got a big thing on the team about don't not doing that ever. Like, don't
Oh,
stoop
I
to their
like that.
level. Yeah, there's a big thing. Like, you don't talk back to them. You don't say anything to them. You're just respectful. You just respect the people you come against.
Oh, I like that a lot. Like, because you
Yeah.
usually get people that are kind of like quite garish and quite like you need to bring the juice or whatever. But I like that you're
Yeah,
kind of
we're very like thingy on that. I never do it. I always say, to be honest, if I'm really, really honest, if someone does talk excessively, it's because they're compensating for something. I genuinely believe it. To be honest,
you're not
I've
wrong.
said that. I do honestly believe if you do it like excessively, a little bit here and there is like it's just football, right? But a little like excessively, it's a bit unnecessary. Like I don't personally like it at all. Just
No,
play
that's
the
fair.
game.
That's fair.
And also
Completely agree.
I have too much to think about saying something to the player. But I'm not even caring about you. You know what I mean? I'm not caring about you at all. No, it's
Yeah,
definitely
I like.
different though. Like they do play music sometimes at the games because it's all streamed on the app called Victory Plus. This is something that's different. So obviously the UK games, some of them are streamed, but they're completely different because it's like streaming like a professional. streaming service. So it's like there's live commentators, there's all like graphics on over the games, like they're all streaming. You have like the game of the week, and then the game of the week has the best stream. I've noticed that the game of the week has the best stream. So like there's several cameras, they bring more camera people down, and it's very cool. It's very cool. I've never had that before. Where there's like so many commentators and it's very professional.
That sounds amazing. I'm gonna be really surprised if you want to come back home because that
I
level
don't.
of
I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this. I was like, when I go back home and play, it's not ever gonna be the same now. I don't think ever. And I love playing in
yeah.
England. I love playing football in England. I love playing with the Titans. I love playing on my university team. But it's here. It's just like it's just different. It's just different. And it's hard to say it because one of my teammates from Manchester Titans is here as well. So we were speaking about that. We were saying like how it's so different. It's so different, but in a good way. And I'd still love to go back. I'm actually kind of gutted that I'm not playing the women's season in the UK this year because I don't have. When I get back, I'm only going to be able to play one game. So I was like, I might as well just take a break.
Ah, right, okay. So, are you still eligible for like GB squad? Are you still
Yeah, yeah,
sending
yeah.
film and stuff like that? Because I was gonna ask, like, how does that work for you being abroad?
I made one camp at the beginning of the year, and then after that, I've just been sending my film to the coaches a lot, which they've been happy with. So I'm just going to keep sending the film, and then when I get home, just go to the practices then. Hopefully, it'll all be good.
So, when do you come back home?
In June.
Oh,
So I would have been here from March till June. Exactly 3 months. That's when I have to leave. So, I couldn't stay any longer if I tried. So that's when my like visa's finished. So I'm leaving in June. But I would have been here for. I've been here for around half the time now, around 6 weeks now. I feel like I've been here for such a long time, like so long. So I've really
it
gotten
feels like
used to
you've
it.
been away.
Yeah, I feel
Like,
like
I've
I've
been
been here for
really
ages.
enjoying your content online. Like, I've really enjoyed kind of seeing you engage with like American culture that way. So it feels like you've been gone since forever, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got really used to everything now. At the first few weeks, I was like, oh, this is strange. This is weird. But now I'm very, very used to like the way things are paid for, the food here, the fast food, which is really bad, but the food is really good here. And yeah, I've got used to the whole lifestyle, like the driving on the other side of the road, even stuff like that. I don't drive, but being in the car is weird on the other side of the road. How the way out the roads work and everything. Like it's just different, but I think I've completely got used to it now. So when I go home, it's gonna be really weird. Like when I was in Vegas, I've been so used to the American accent. I heard British people and I was like, I turned so fast. I was like, oh, I've not heard an accent in real life in like so long. Like I turned so fast and I was like, oh, they're actually English. Yeah, it was really weird. Like I properly went like turned around. Like they probably thought, what is she doing? But it was really good.
Are you going to make sure that you kind of hoard all the good American drip and
Yeah.
accessories before you come back home as
I've
well?
already
That's
I've
the number
already
one
got
thing.
some.
Like,
Yeah, because I love, scrunch socks. How you can get the scrunch socks.
yes.
I've already bought some of them. I've been wearing them. I've got like a good amount of football stuff already. I haven't actually bought that much though. I've just been buying the merch of the team to be honest. But I haven't even bought that like much football stuff here. I bought cleats and I bought Gatorade bottles and towels. But that's kind of it. I haven't bought anything else.
That's when you know you're legit, though, when you get the Gatorade bottle, though. That's when you know.
Yeah, because my boyfriend was like, bring me some back, please, and I was like, I will. Don't worry. I've had so many people say that to me. They're like, can you get me this? I'm like, I don't have enough room in my suitcase, guys. I can't bring every every person who plays football in the UK a football thing from America. I don't have enough room.
That's amazing. And you know what? It's so good to hear that you are excelling and you're absolutely flourishing with Ascendigo Rebellion as well. So, with that being said, have you got any leaving sentiments for your many, many adoring fans, internationally and world round?
I'd just say, don't be too scared to do something because, like, if I didn't send my film that one day, I wouldn't be here right now. If I thought, oh, I can't do it, I wouldn't be sat here in America playing and having a great time. So I'd just say to always do something. Don't regret it. Just go with the flow and just to always try your best. And yeah, just to never hold yourself back because you think you can't do it. Because you can always do it.
That's amazing. My leaving sentiments are thank you for coming on. You are a very, very busy woman. And it's been an absolute pleasure to see you absolutely kick ass in America. Thank you for giving your time. And I've taken quite a lot away from this interview, actually, about kind of how you approach games and how you approach line. So thank you very much for that. So
No problem.
you're amazing.
Perfect.
So with that being said, I've been Bo Snow.
And I've been Ruby Watson.
And this has been Lids Off. Bye!